latest report. Its news exposed signing off. NASA's recent discovery shed new light on what the Bible says, thus confirming that these biblical stories are in fact true. In the words of Mr. Harold Hill, the president of the Curtiss Engine Company in Baltimore, also a consultant in space programs, one of the most amazing things that God has for us today happened recently to our astronauts and space scientists at Greenbelt, Maryland. As scientists were inspecting the positions of several space objects including the Sun, the Moon and the planets and their positions in 101,000 years, this is done regularly in order to prevent our satellites from colliding with the orbits of the planets. The orbits have to be determined on time so that the space projects do not interrupt their course. During the computer calculations, a red signal put everything at a standstill, meaning that something was wrong either with the data or the results. After the intervention of the service department, the scientist concluded that somewhere in space a day was missing in elapsed time. Nobody could solve the issue until one believer explained that in Taurus School they were told about the sun standing still. Of course, no one believed, but when the man took the Bible, he opened the book of Joshua and a pretty absurd statement made a lot of sense. They read the passage when Yahweh said to Joshua, "Fear them not, I have delivered them into thy hand. There shall not be a man of them stand before thee." Joshua 10:8. Joshua was worried because he was surrounded by the enemy, and if darkness fell, he'd be conquered. So Joshua asked the Lord to make the sun stand still. That's right, and the sun stood still and the moon stayed, until the people had avenged themselves upon their enemies. Is this not written in the book of Joshua? So the sun stood still in the midst of heaven and hastened not to go down about a whole day. Joshua 10:13. The scientists soon concluded that this was the missing day. They examined the computer calculations and found that the time missing was in fact 23 hours and 20 minutes, which doesn't make a full day like in the book of Joshua. After reading the Bible again, they saw that it said approximately, a day. Although the Bible was true, they were still missing 40 minutes which had to be accounted for, because if not, it could create problems 1,000 years from now. The believer then remembered something in the Bible which said that the sun went backwards. No one believed again, but then they opened the Bible and were proved wrong. Ezekiel was visited on his deathbed by Isaiah the prophet, who told him that it's not his time yet. Ezekiel asked for a sign, and Isaiah asked if the sun would go forward 10 degrees, or go back 10 degrees. Ezekiel answered, "It is a light thing for the shadow to go down 10 degrees. Nay, but let the shadow return backwards 10 degrees. And Isaiah the prophet cried unto Adonai, or the Lord, and he brought the shadow 10 degrees backward, by which it had gone down in the dial of Ahaz. 10 degrees equals 40 minutes. The 23 hours and 20 minutes from Joshua and the 10 degrees, 40 minutes, in the 2 Kings accounted for the missing. All content on this website, including medical opinion and any other health-related information, is for informational purposes only and should not be considered to be a specific diagnosis or treatment plan for any individual situation. Use of this site and the information contained herein does not create a doctor-patient relationship. Always seek the direct advice of your own doctor in connection with any questions or issues you may have regarding your own health or the health of others. Food and Our Health helped contribute to this report.